Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the last part of 1L Brief Research Roadmap, Accelerating Your Path to Analysis, Writing, and Oral Argument Prep with Westlaw Deep Research, Litigation Document Analyzer, KeyCite, and CoCounsel Legal. We are finally to the Finalize section. In this part, we are going to talk about Argument Outline and Table of Authorities Builder. These two portions are going to help get you on the road so you can need to make sure that the car is in good shape, reservations are made, the phone is charged, and you have some podcasts to listen to in the car so you can finally get on the road and get to your destination. These two tools will get you to the finish so you can get ready for oral arguments and prep your podium notes and wrap up your appellate brief with time to spare so you can get ready to have fun by the end of the semester. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, I am back to Westlaw Deep Research, and there are a couple of things that I wanted to highlight here. First is drafting assistant. So to build a table of authorities, you can get started here, and we will click where it says drafting assistant. Now, the table of authorities sounds like a very easy task. It's essentially just building a table of all the documents that you've cited to in your appellate brief. But what makes it a daunting task is it can't really be completely finished until you've finished your actual appellate brief. So it becomes daunting in the sense that, unless you're finished a week early, 3 or 4 days early, doing your table of authorities is something that you kind of have to wait until the very last minute to do. And so this becomes tricky because I'm going to do a quick poll of the class for your memo assignments. Who was working on their memo assignment until the last minute? So anyway, I digress. I was a person who was working on my assignments until the day of. So you can't do that with your appellate brief. You oftentimes have over 30, maybe, 40 pages of an appellate brief. So doing a table of authorities can take a lot of time. So I'm going to now click on TOA Builder. I uploaded my brief. I'm going to click on TOA Builder, run, and it's going to extract all of the citations that I have in this appellate brief. Might take a few minutes, just depending on how long your appellate brief is and how many citations you have. So it is a little bit of practice and patience. All right, so here we have all of the citations. I'm going to click where it says Insert TOA. And so you can see here that it's allowing me to insert my table of authorities, all the citations to the spot where I want it to appear. I'm going to put it in after the table of contents. I will click Insert and then Submit, and it will build out my table of authorities in just a few seconds. And now if I go to that section, there it is. I can finish. And then I have the option to download my new document with my table of authorities. Now, I always say it is absolutely up to you to go back in and verify that all the pages are correct, that the citations are in proper format. I can see here that maybe I have some id options, but I don't have the case names attached here. So I may need to go to these pages to double check or triple check those citations, maybe move things around. I'm missing maybe a party name and a page and a date here. But again, this saves you an astronomical amount of time. Now it's just a little bit of going back through the brief on these specific pages, to try to make sure that things are correct and I can get this updated. Manually doing this could easily take a day or two alone. And now I have a head start and I can now start preparing for my oral arguments. So that being said, I'm going to go back to Westlaw Advantage, and remember to access CoCounsel. We're going to hop back into CoCounsel. There are two access points right here on the screen, either the button at the top or the chat box at the bottom of the screen. Either option will take you into CoCounsel. So I can access either option. And I'm going to go ahead and open up the whole screen in front of me. The library, remember, is your catalog of workflows and task flows in CoCounsel, and this will allow you to create a document for yourself to prepare for those oral arguments. So one of the workflows that I wanted to use today is argument outline. So I'm going to type in argument and look through the options here. And there is argument outline. You can also see that I saved it as a favorite so that it'll appear in my favorites when I come back. So don't forget to do that once you find a workflow or task flow that you like. For the purposes of time, I've already ran an argument outline document, but here you can see that the prompt is already here in the screen for me, and I just needed to upload my documents. But I have my results here, so I uploaded my brief, and I have all of my arguments that are made. And so what's really great about this is, let's say you're allowed to bring up 3 or 4 pieces of paper. This allows you to highlight those cases and the strongest arguments from them so that you can be ready at the podium and not have to sort through a lot of information and try to make those arguments, those rebuttals to your opposing counsel. And so argument outline is a really great tool if you want to just upload all of those really strong cases that you have, the ones that you know you don't want to forget, the ones that make your strongest points, and have them at the ready at the podium for when you're ready to make those oral arguments and be prepared with those questions. So I wanted to highlight this option in the CoCounsel library so that you can be ready for those oral arguments. So that is Finalize, the final steps in the brief roadmap process that is using Drafting Assistant to build out your table of authorities to save you time, and then using Argument Outline to make an outline of all the arguments within the cases that you're using that you want to remember and have ready for oral arguments. All right, thanks so much and best of luck the rest of this semester. I know you will do amazing.